Welcome to our home. This is our fire pit where we often sit and just relax. We build a fire, maybe have a cup of coffee or tea, and enjoy talking to one another, enjoy just spending some time together. I want to talk to you today about fire in a suburban or wilderness emergency situation. Let's say that your airplane has gone down. Let's say that you've taken your car off the road and it's crashed. Many people will try to get a fire started by using gasoline. What I want to do today is to show you the safe way and the not so safe way to do that. So if you've got this airline down, you've got your car down, assuming that the gas tank is still intact, you can pull the hose off, that's the fuel hose, and drain it out into a container. I've got a container right here that I've put a little bit of gasoline in. This is a tuna fish container, and as you can see, it's about halfway full with gasoline. That's more than enough gas to use in a situation like this. However, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. Now, I've often joked around that when I make a fire here at the home, I like to take and put some wood on the fire. I like to take and make all my tinder arrangements the way they need to be, throw some gasoline on, and light a match from 10 foot. And we're going to do exactly that so that you can get an idea of what will happen as we do that. I'm just going to take a little bit of my wood here that I've gathered. It's been raining for about the past 3 weeks, so everything around here is wet. And if you find yourself in a survival situation with a wet fire, it's harder to start. Now, gas will help you to do that. But what I'm going to do is to lay some tinder on here. You don't have to do it in any kind of a real neat way. You just have to get it on there. And I'm going to save a little bit of this because I want to show you the right way to do it in a few minutes. I'm going to move the rest of this tinder back. And then I'm going to take a stick. Now, I'm going to do that because this is the wrong way to do it, and I don't want to do it and light myself on fire. But if you'll notice, most people will lay this out, pour a bunch of gasoline all over their wood. They'll get out their lighter. They will go ahead and light that and put it in there. Now, that could be very dangerous, depending on how long the flame goes, depending on what happens with that fire. You could get gas fumes that would cause a major explosion. You don't want to do it that way. Again, you can see this fire is going right now. But with wet wood, it's very possible that that wood is not going to catch on fire, that it's just going to burn the gasoline off. That is the wrong way to make a fire with gasoline. Now, what I want to do is to show you the right way so it's much less dangerous for yourself, and so that if you're out there in an emergency, you have an idea of how to do this properly. I've gotten another can, and that can is filled with just some wood chips. In the bush, you could use the cushions from your car seat. You could stuff them in here. You could use dry tinder. Punk wood is especially good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that can into the center of the fire pit, and I'm going to bury it just a little bit. Next comes my gasoline. I'm going to pour gas on. Now, this time, notice I've only got about 1/5 of a can of gasoline instead of the entire thing. I'm going to pour that gas right on top of that tinder, and I'm just going to leave it sit for a few minutes. Now I'm going to take my tinder, but I'm going to build the fire upside down. I'm going to use the small stuff on the bottom, and then I'm going to go to larger wood on top. So as I put that here, and what I need to do is I'm going to dip this piece of wood into that gas-soaked can for a minute, just to get it lit. And what I want you to notice as I start this fire is I want you to see the difference. I'm willing to go right down here in the fire pit right now because there's not going to be a big burst. There's not going to be flames flying all over. There's not going to be heat coming back to singe my eyebrows. So I'm going to light this stick. and get a little wetter because it didn't light that time. light the stick, set it in there. Now you can see that flame is much more controlled. But another thing about this kind of a fire lay is that that flame will begin to burn more slowly. When you put the gas just on top, you may or may not light wet wood. You may have to do it 3 or 4 times, and you might not have that much gasoline. So what you want to do is to do something like this. It's going to control that flame, and instead of burning off, it's soaking into my wood chips. It's going to light the wood chips and the small tinder that's on the fire. Then I'll go ahead and add some more tinder as we get it going. Now again, we want you to be safe in the bush. Bushcraft is not about going out and doing crazy things. Bushcraft is about living safely in an environment where it's already unsafe. You might be lost, you might be hurt. So please remember this video. Remember how to do these things safely and how to make this fire so that it will not endanger you any more than needs to be. I'm David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire. I thank you for joining us on this video. I hope you have a great day. We'll see you soon.